For thousands of years, they've been sitting there in the desert, just watching the world go by, guarding secrets we're only now starting to scratch the surface of. We all think we know the story, but what if the real story is something else entirely? I mean, what if I told you that the Great Pyramid of Giza was built with a level of precision that is, well, almost perfect, 4,500 years ago? Think about it. No cranes, no electricity, no computers. And then there's this number, 6 million tons. That's how much the Great Pyramid weighs. It's built from more than 2 million individual blocks of stone. And get this, some of the blocks deep inside weigh up to 80 tons. That's like carving, moving, and perfectly placing a dozen elephants at once. To really put that into perspective for you, the tallest building on Earth right now, the Burj Khalifa, weighs about 500,000 tons. So the pyramid is more than 10 times heavier. It just leads you back to that one single question that's been bugging us for centuries. Who really built them? Okay, let's dive into that. To even begin to answer that question, we have to look at the mountain of evidence that archaeologists have been piecing together. And the mainstream view, honestly, is both elegant and incredibly powerful. So historians and Egyptologists are pretty much on the same page about this. The Great Pyramid was a tomb. It was built for the pharaoh Khufu, meant to be his grand vessel for his journey into the afterlife. For the Egyptians, the bigger and more magnificent the tomb, the better the pharaoh's journey would be. But how on earth did they pull it off? Well, the evidence points to this incredible mix of pure manpower and some seriously clever thinking. For quarrying, they hammered wooden wedges soaked in water into cracks in the stone. As the wood expanded, it split the rock. To move these massive blocks, we've actually seen a painting in a tomb that shows workers pulling a huge statue on a sledge while someone pours water on the sand in front. And physics backs this up. Wet sand makes it way easier to drag things. And for the lifting part, a massive system of ramps, probably with some levers thrown in, let them raise the stones layer by painstaking layer. Ingenious, right? No doubt. But does that story really explain everything we're seeing? Or are there a few little details that just don't quite fit? Let's take a closer look. And you have to remember, it wasn't just the pyramid itself. The entire Giza Plateau is basically a giant city of the dead. It's surrounded by smaller tombs for other nobles, temples, causeways. Everything points to it being this massive, sacred burial complex. Right, but if it was Khufu's ultimate final resting place, then why was the huge granite sarcophagus they found inside the king's chamber completely empty? No mummy, no treasure, nothing. Now, the common explanation is grave robbers, of course, but there's no actual proof of that. So it's a good theory, but it's still just a theory. And let's talk about the timeline. To build this thing in just 20 years, the workforce would have had to quarry, transport, and perfectly place one of these multi-ton blocks every 3 minutes. That's around the clock, no days off, for 2 straight decades. I mean, is that even humanly possible with just copper tools and wet sand? And that's where some people start looking for answers, not here on Earth, but up in the sky. There's this idea called the Orion correlation theory. It suggests the layout of the 3 main pyramids at Giza isn't random at all. It's a perfect map of the 3 stars in Orion's belt. And that constellation was super important. It represented Osiris, the god of the afterlife. It would have been an intentional message, written in stone and aimed at the stars. Now, this is a really cool idea, but it's been put under some pretty serious scientific scrutiny. An astronomer named Ed Krupp actually tested this in a planetarium, and he found a couple of major issues. First, the alignment isn't actually perfect, but the real kicker is, to get the pyramids to line up with the stars in Orion's belt, you have to flip the map of the pyramids upside down. It kind of shows that you can find patterns anywhere if you're willing to turn the data on its head. But here's the thing. The pyramid mystery isn't just an Egyptian one. Let's zoom out for a second, because what you find is that this is a truly global phenomenon. Just look at this. This isn't just an Egypt story. Over in Peru, the pyramids of Caral are actually older than Giza, and they were built by a culture that had 0 contact with Egypt. Then, halfway around the world in Bosnia, there's a claim that this hill is actually a man-made pyramid even taller than Giza. Now, whether you buy that or not, the question is still there. Why did so many ancient cultures, totally separate, with no way to talk to each other, all start building the exact same iconic shape? Supporters of the Bosnian pyramid claim it has these unnaturally geometric faces, and that it's aligned to true north with a precision of just 12 arcseconds. Now, an arcsecond is an insanely tiny fraction of a degree. To get that kind of accuracy is just astonishing. It's on par with the Great Pyramid of Giza. Mainstream archaeology definitely disputes that the site is man-made, but those measurements, they keep the debate raging. And this is where the story takes a really fascinating modern twist. Because to find the next piece of this ancient puzzle, we're not using picks and shovels. We're actually using cosmic rays from deep space to look right through solid stone. The tech is called cosmic ray muography. Basically, tiny particles called muons are constantly raining down on Earth from space. They fly right through the air, but they get absorbed or bounced off by dense stuff like stone. So, if you put detectors around a pyramid, you can map out its density and find any hidden empty spaces. It's like giving it a giant X-ray without ever touching a single block. So in 2015, this international team called Scan Pyramids started using this exact technology on Khufu's pyramid. And in 2017, after crunching all the data, they announced something that just absolutely stunned the world of Egyptology. They found a void, a huge one, at least 30 meters long, sitting right above the famous Grand Gallery that leads to the King's Chamber. They've nicknamed it the Scan Pyramid's Big Void. It's about the same size and shape as the Grand Gallery itself, with a volume roughly the size of a passenger jet. For centuries, we thought we had the floor plan of the Great Pyramid all figured out. This discovery proved that even after 4,500 years, the pyramid was still holding on to a massive secret. So, science didn't solve the mystery. It just uncovered an even bigger one. So, a secret chamber hidden from every human eye for millennia, revealed not by a tool, but by particles from the cosmos. It just brings us right back to where we began. I mean, really, put yourself there. You're in the desert sand, you don't have any of the tools we take for granted. Could you carve out a 50-ton block of granite, shape it perfectly, and then somehow lift it hundreds of feet into the air? Could you align a 6 million-ton monument to true north so precisely it's almost perfect? We now have technology that can literally see through solid stone, but it can't tell us what's in that big void. Is it another gallery? Is it a hidden tomb untouched by time? Or could it be something else entirely, something that could completely rewrite the story of how and why the pyramids were built? The final secret is still buried. The only question is, for how much longer?